Okay, I didn't know she was coming in.
The morning over the fields began with an unusual silence. When the farmers stepped out to inspect their land, they quickly realized the ground had changed. Long rows of soil had been torn apart into large patches, as if a giant plow had passed through during the night. Many crops had been uprooted, their young roots exposed on the damp mud. All of these signs pointed to something familiar yet troubling. A sounder of wild boars had visited the area during the night in search of food. At first, many people thought it was just a random visit, but only a few days later, the same kinds of tracks appeared again. The damaged patches of soil gradually spread, expanding from the edges of the field deeper into the cultivated area. The wild boars were not only searching for food, but also repeatedly returning along the same route. Once the herd developed a fixed travel pattern, simple attempts to drive them away were no longer effective. That was when wildlife management teams began to intervene. Instead of rushing to chase the animals away, they chose a more cautious method, studying the behavior of the wild boars before taking any action. Infrared cameras were installed along the forest edge and the trails leading into the fields. After only a few nights of observation, the picture became clearer. The boars moved in groups of 10 to 15 individuals, usually appearing at the same time each night and following the exact same paths. Understanding this pattern allowed the experts to choose more effective trap locations. Instead of placing many small devices scattered around, they focused on the intersections of the trails. There, a large steel cage trap was carefully installed. The trap frame was built from thick steel bars and firmly anchored into the ground to withstand the powerful force of adult boars. The trapdoor was designed as a gravity drop gate that could shut quickly once the trigger mechanism was activated. For several consecutive days, food was placed near the trap area while the door remained open. Fermented corn and various grains were scattered evenly inside and around the steel cage. The scent of the food quickly attracted the attention of the wild boars. At first, they stood at a distance and observed. The adults were usually the first to approach, sniffing around the area before cautiously stepping inside to test the space. After a few nights, the initial hesitation gradually disappeared. Cameras recorded the moment when the entire group began entering the trap to search for food. The younger boars followed the adults, moving through the trapdoor naturally without realizing they were stepping into a controlled space. Once the experts were confident that most of the herd had grown accustomed to entering the trap, the trigger mechanism was finally activated. Food was placed deeper inside, forcing the boars to move fully into the interior of the cage. When the leading boar touched the trigger bar, the trapdoor instantly dropped down, sealing the exit. The moment happened very quickly. Within just a few seconds, the steel cage shifted from an open state to a completely locked enclosure. The sturdy bars kept the structure stable, preventing the boars from breaking through the frame. The following morning, the management team returned to inspect the site. Inside the cage was the entire group of wild boars that had been damaging the fields for weeks.
Okay, I didn't know she was coming.
Thanks to careful observation of behavior and thorough preparation, they were able to control many individuals at once rather than dealing with each animal separately. This method not only helps reduce damage for farmers, but also demonstrates the importance of understanding wild animal behavior. When humans patiently observe and apply the right strategy, conflicts between wildlife and agricultural land can be managed more effectively. In many farming regions, cage trap systems like these are becoming an important part of wild boar management strategies. They allow managers to monitor herds, control population numbers, and reduce pressure on crops without disrupting the surrounding ecosystem.
In just one night, a sounder of wild boars can turn an entire field into torn, plowed ground. Corn is pulled from the soil, grass is ripped apart, irrigation lines are damaged, and months of work can disappear within hours. This speed of destruction makes wild boar control a major challenge for agriculture. Especially as their numbers grow quickly and they begin moving along fixed routes. Wild boars are extremely adaptable animals. They remember scents, sounds, and dangers they have encountered before. When one animal senses danger, the rest of the group quickly changes direction and becomes more cautious. Because of this, removing individuals one by one often brings only short-term results. Many wildlife programs now use a different strategy, controlling the entire sounder at once. Among modern approaches, large net traps are considered one of the most effective solutions. At first glance, the system looks simple, with a wide circle of netting around a bait site. But behind that simple design is a method built around the natural behavior of wild boars. Instead of forcing them into a trap, the net system allows the whole group to walk inside, following their normal feeding habits. The setup begins with a careful survey of the terrain. Managers choose a flat area near the routes the boars often travel, usually along forest edges where the ground shows repeated tracks. Once the spot is selected, a central stake is driven into the soil. From that point, measuring lines mark the positions of the surrounding posts, forming a large circle around the bait area. Steel posts are driven deep into the ground to form a strong support frame. Each post is reinforced with anchors and tension straps to prevent movement when the boars push against the trap. Specialized netting is then attached and stretched around the structure. The net is both strong and flexible, helping absorb impact and reducing injury if the animals panic and run inside the enclosure.
Set. Loosen it, take it off of that.
Bait is placed in the center of the trap, often fermented corn or fruits familiar to wild boars. The scent spreads through the night air and draws the sounder back again and again. As the animals enter and leave the area without danger, their caution slowly fades. The net rests close to the ground like a small barrier, but once inside, its structure makes crawling back out extremely difficult. When one boar moves inside, others usually follow because of their herd instinct. Within a short time, the entire sounder can gather inside the enclosure. There is no sudden gate or loud mechanism to cause panic. The animals only realize the situation once they are already within the circle of netting. Once contained, some boars run around and push against the net. Instead of rebounding like they would against a rigid cage, the soft net bends with the impact and absorbs the force. This reduces the chance of serious injury and keeps the animals moving near the center of the enclosure. The next morning, wildlife managers returned to the trap site. By then, the boars remain contained inside the net circle with no easy way out. After securing the area, each animal is carefully guided into reinforced transport units and moved according to wildlife management regulations. Controlling wild boars is not only about protecting crops, but also about maintaining ecological balance. When populations grow beyond what the land can support, they place pressure on native species and disturb forest soil. For this reason, science-based methods such as large-scale net trapping have become valuable tools for reducing damage. From fields torn apart overnight to forests dug up in search of food, the story of wild boars shows how nature depends on balance. When people understand animal behavior and apply the right methods, population control can be effective while still respecting the natural environment. If you find this topic interesting, share your thoughts and follow along to discover more stories from the natural world.